Britney. Let's get into her. So apparently, remember back in the day when she was trying to do her little comeback with "Gimme More" and she performed at the VMA. She opened it, and the performance was so bad, even her lip sync was on a 10-second delay. Like, it was just that freaking horrific when she got up there. And then the person who told her to wear this outfit, you need to be fired. Hopefully they still not working out, because it's like, ma'am, you still got liquor bloat from the night before. They were trying to, there's a little bit was trying, and then the tracks. Who wouldn't put in two-tone hair extensions? I've seen better hair extensions on girls that be down at the trap house. And then this is what y'all had her in, two-tone weave. It looked a mess. It looked like she just rolled out of bed, didn't even bother coming to rehearsals, and just got up there on that stage and didn't know where her mark was, wasn't giving choreography. She was just like, everybody hitting their A count. She was like Blue Ivy when Blue Ivy first started performing for Beyonce, like not even moving on the stage, as stiff as a board. But now you can't tell Blue Ivy nothing. Miss Mama's be out here, she be dancing the girls down. So shout out to her. Shout out to the manager. That's what everybody call her, the manager. So now, the pop star's name was mentioned during the ongoing trial of Sean the Diddler Combs. It's like, who the hell Stephen? Who has pled not guilty to allegations of trafficking and racketeering. That if convicted, y'all already know he ain't never gonna see the light of day. Now, the Diddler's ex-girlfriend, Cassie, testified that he invited Spears, now 43, to her 21st birthday celebration at Pure Nightclub on September 7, 2007. Well, thank God it wasn't my birthday. You did it on Pink's birthday. Wait, hold on. Cassie's a Virgo? Let me look that up. Let me see what her birthday is. Because I'm like, now you praying on Virgos? Oh, we windmilling, sir. And she is one. She was born August 26, 1986. Now I hate him even more. You was praying on my sign. How dare you? You coming after the Virgos now. So we're gonna have to windmill his old ugly ass. Now, let's get into the story. Now, Diddy and Spears also attended an after party thrown by rapper 50 Cent, who, loves dragging Diddy now. But y'all was Kiki buddies at the since renamed the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino later in the evening. That extended into the early morning hours of September 8, 2007. And now fans are just realizing that less than 24 hours later, Spears took this to the stage to perform Gimme More, which she gave us less, at the 2007 MTV VMAs on September 9, 2007, which is my cousin's birthday. Shout out to her, Lita. While it was expected to be her big comeback, the Disastrous performance was widely criticized and deemed to be the lowest point of her professional career. She was branded a train wreck with critics, noting at the time that Spears appeared spaced out and off her game, probably still coming out for whatever she was doing the night before. Spears later admitted in her memoir that she hadn't slept the night before and the show and had a panic attack before going on stage. Well, yeah, when you out hobnobbing and brown nosing and kikiing with the Diddler, who the hell could sleep? So yeah, you was living your best life when you knew you had responsibilities. Get your ass up on that stage and give us a shimmy. Or as they say in The Color Purple, shake your shimmy. So while there is no suggestion Spears engaged in FO activities, fans are certainly re-examining the timeline of events in a new light. In a now viral video, a Spears fan shared a theory that the singer's terrible experience, Vegas, was the catalyst for her spiral into a conservatorship, which was enforced just months later on February 1st, 2008. Well, damn, I didn't even know that's when it was. Well, hold on, because I got the video. I was like, let me open this up and see what Miss Mama's got to say. So yeah, let's refresh and let's hear what she had to say.
Spending time with my family and boyfriend all day. Apologize for my Britney news delay. I was spending time with my family and boyfriend all day yesterday. Yesterday was Cassie Ventura's second day of testifying at the trial of P. Diddy, and she specifically mentioned Britney Spears and producer Dallas Austin. She said, those are the two people that stood out to me regarding her 21st birthday party held in Las Vegas on September 8th, 2007. Not only did Britney Spears attend the birthday party, they attended the after party as well. And there are several pictures of them together. Oh, look who it is, Paris Hilton. But what people may not know is the very next day, on September 9th, 2007, Britney Spears performed at the MTV Awards, and it didn't go well. She didn't seem herself. She seemed lethargic. The light was out of her eyes. And after that, everything was downhill from there. A lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of people in the general public believe that something happened specifically that night that caused a major turn of events for Britney Spears and being placed into a conservatorship. But I think Cassie mentioned Britney Spears for a very specific reason. This gets me so upset. She was taken again to UCLA Medical Center for a mental evaluation hold. And looky who was there. I think it was either the first time she was taken away to the hospital or the second time. But look, that's her daddy, and that's Lou Taylor, CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment. Now, I have to say allegedly, but we all know the truth. This woman single-handedly helped train and teach Jamie the ways to put her into a conservatorship, to put Britney Spears into a conservatorship. It's all this well thought out plan. There were emails, there were picking the right judges for the cases and stuff like that. This whole thing was a shady effing business. Now, what was supposed to be a temporary conservatorship turned into 13 years of Britney Spears being in this conservatorship. And the catalyst for that could have been all from that night. I apologize for my Britney news delay.
Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Keep It Dash 21 over on Instagram for this video and doing the sleuthing. So shout out to her because I got to give credit and all the other stuff. So yeah. But y'all already know how I feel about Lou Taylor. I ain't never liked that bitch. Because remember, she tried to go after Lindsay Lohan. She tried to go after Justin Bieber. She likes to sink her claws into a lot of young celebrities who are, I guess she would in a way seem troubled. But she was able to get her them little Satan hooves, satanic hooves, I should say, on Britney. But she been trying to get her, her hands on other people. But some people in the comments, let's see what they were saying over there to the video. One person said, Cassie just validated us. We knew it in our hearts, and Paris dragged Britney into that. Another person said, and yes, I do believe Britney was either drugged or took a lot of drugs that night based off of how out of it she was during the performance the next day. Also, strong possibility the diddler taped her or forced her into something. I remember watching her and cringing, thinking, oh no, what has happened to Britney? I don't think she was forced because we all know Britney does whatever Britney wants to do. So I don't think you have to really put a gun to her head. I believe she took them drugs under her own accord. Just like she decided to light that damn cigarette on that plane when she knew she wasn't supposed to do that. And we're going to get to that story in a second. So now they said, we're just going to blame Diddy for every death, every downfall of a celebrity, and every celebrity that has a drug problem. It's all Diddy, right? You all got jokes for real. I think, of course, this big back bitch missed the damn point. What they were saying was that she was at a Diddy party, hence why when she was supposed to do her comeback, she was a hot ass mess. That is what they're saying. They're not saying that it's, well, I don't think that that's what they're taking for, because that's not what I'm taking from it. I'm not taking that Diddy, had something to do with Britney being a mess. Nobody put a gun on her head and told her to go hang out with Cassie and Dallas Austin and all the other celebrities that was at that situation, because Paris Hilton was there, Lindsay Lohan was out partying, she was hanging out with all those girls at the time. And I guess there was a way it was like, okay, she's doing too much, she's ruining her career, she's supposed to have this comeback after all this stuff that was going on with the paparazzi and the custody battle and all this other stuff. And they looked at that as that was ammunition to get her in that conservatorship. However mess that came out. And look, she came out on the other side. She's out of conservatorship. Whether or not she's, it's for the better is debatable. But for the most part, the way I'm looking at it is I'm not necessarily blaming Diddy for what had happened to her. Nobody put a gun on her head and told her to go to that damn party, knowing full and well the next day she had to go and perform at the VMAs. Because if it's me being a responsible performer and artist that I am, I'm not partying the night before. You do the party after. You don't do the party before. It's hence why they call them after parties. So I'm going to party and drink and have a good time after I'm done my performance. But before that performance happens, I am fully disciplined. This is why when you look at artists like Beyonce, you don't never hear nothing about her being, I mean, although we've seen that picture of her slumped over in the car one time and she was trying to use her wig to cover her face. I do remember that picture like it was yesterday. But this is why when you look at certain artists like a Beyonce and she's always on point because it's like the performance matters because y'all not gonna sit up here and talk about I slipped up or I had a bad moment or whatever, and you're gonna put that in my face. Even if I fall down a flight of damn steps, I'm gonna bounce myself to get right back up and keep singing and keep shaking my shimmy. And Britney apparently didn't have the mindset to do that because she wanted to go out and have fun. She, I guess, was tired of being a show pony, which is kind of like how in so many ways she was being treated. Then someone also said this, because I don't remember this. It might have been in the book, but it's been a while since I read A Woman in Me. One person said Britney claimed in her book that she saw Justin Timberlake backstage right before her performance. She wasn't rehearsed enough for the performance, and seeing him at his height of his life and fame really messed with her heart and mind seconds before she got on stage. Not only that, but she was in the middle of a divorce and suffering from PP bad, and the pops messing with her privacy, narrating her every move and being the butt of every joke. I know it was a lot of stuff that was going on at that time, but with all the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, she still decided to go to that party, knowing full on well she had to perform the next day on the VMAs and delivered a lackluster performance. So yes, it goes to show that you drink, you doing all kinds of drugs, you're partying, you're not sleeping, it will affect your performance. That's the thing. Point blank and period. There's no excuse, no in between with that. That's just life. If same thing if you was working a regular job. Back when I was that young, trust and believe, I was staying up 24 hours, going to parties, and went to work and was able to pull through. Maybe because my brain is different. I can't do that now. But yeah, there have been times where I used to party and would go straight to work and go back. And when I'm done, I was fighting for my life, trying to concentrate. I'd use every amount of energy in my brain cells to be able to focus. But nevertheless, I did it and I made it through the other side. So we've all been there, but Britney is no damn excuse. Okay, so yeah, so there's that. So I want to say this to you all. What do you guys think of this story in regards of, do you think that Diddy that had something to do with, her situation of what, did he have something to do with it? I don't personally think he had something to do with it. I think her going to his party, he invited her out. She said yes. She went. She was hanging out with Dallas Austin. She was hanging out with Cassie. She was hanging out with Paris Hilton. She was hanging out with all these people. She was and it affected her live performance the next day. So there's that. We have to at some point start giving people got to be responsible for their own actions. We're not going to sit up here and put everything. Like we go, and I trust and believe I have put a lot on Diddy in a lot of the situations, but it needs to be. But this situation, I don't agree with. I feel like this is her damn fault. She need to take responsibility for her stuff too. So let me all know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.